skateboarding is kind of an art to me, so you can put any interpretation that you want into your skateboarding. When I broke my tibia, I was about 11, and I was just really getting into the skateboarding. So it was kind of a shock for me when I was trying to ollie into a half pipe and I was clearing the whole thing. I ended up missing the board and breaking my tibia. My tibia kind of just like, my foot landed sideways and just broke my tibia.
The tibia injuries, fractures specifically, are nothing that you really want to mess with. A lot of times what you'll do is you'll get a fracture that comes right across the bone, and if that's the fact and you don't have any movement or what we call displacement of the bone, you can treat that conservatively with casting, with walking boot.
First thing I was thinking about is like, when's the next time I can skate? For some reason, I've never really thought about quitting. I just thought about when's the next time I can get started. After that, I just had some therapy. I had to rebuild that strength, and I just couldn't wait to get back on board.
Typically, the recovery rate, if you go down that conservative route with tibial fractures, is you can take anywhere from sometimes 8 to 12 weeks to heal up with this thing, but with a slow progression back into sports.
Yeah, I had to cast like up to my thigh at first because my break was close to my growth plate, and they couldn't risk like getting into my growth plate. So I had to cast for 3 weeks up to my thigh, and then I had a shorter one for another 3 weeks.
In kids, a lot of times, it's a little bit different the way that you treat that in adults because their bones are a little bit more pliable or a little bit loose. When you take a little kind of a sapling or a baby tree and you bend it, it tends to bend a little bit more if you try to break it versus a tree that's a little bit older, a stick that's older, it just snaps right through. And so you tend to get different fractures through kids. But with fractures, you want to treat them properly, and before you return them back to sport, you have to be smart about that so that you don't have any further injuries and fracture through that thing again to where you need some kind of a rod or some kind of a plate that's put in, because then you're looking at needing a surgery. And my goal is to try to treat that conservatively so that we can avoid doing anything surgical.
Yeah, well, when I broke it and I got back into it, that's when they're like, all right, she's serious about skateboarding. At first, everyone kind of thought it was a phase for me because they didn't really know what I was doing. They were just dropping me off at the skate park. And then I broke my foot and I got back. They're like, this pro must be like dedicated to this. So that's when they found out I was like serious about skateboarding. And I mean, they were kind of nervous, but they couldn't really stop me. I had to keep going.